Welcome to the show that talks about Tulsa. People making a difference in the Tulsa community. Special guest interviews spotlighting local businesses to covering important issues within the community no one else is talking about. The hot topics and more. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Whirlwind Development's News You Can Use with your hosts, Mr. Charles Harper and Ms. Damali Wilson.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to World One Development's News You Can Use. We want to thank everyone for either listening on the radio, watching us on Facebook Live, and on www.KBOB899.com, or tuning into any of the News You Can Use media networks, which are powered by World One Development. We really appreciate that. I am your hostess with the mostest, Mr. Damali Wilson.
And I'm Charles Harper. It's Wednesday, a.k.a. Hump Day, May 1st, 2024. And we are live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and simulcast on the News You Can Use Media Network, powered by World One Development. We are set for an exciting show, you guys. You better call your mom and them and tell them. You can dial in at 918-856-3073 or post your comments on our Facebook Live feed at World One Development.
On today's show, the police report with Lieutenant DeLauren Sanders talking about the homelessness and law and what you should know.
Yep. Also live in studio, Tulsa County District Attorney Steve Kunzweiler weighs in on the homelessness situation in Tulsa.
And of course, our Hump Day hot topics, which are one of Tulsa's own has signed with the NFL. Find out who. OKC Thunder advance in the playoffs. Is this the best OKC Thunder team ever? Let's talk about it. And Heisman Trophy restored to Reggie Bush. Birthdays and more.
This is News You Can Use right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and simulcast on the News You Can Use Media Network, powered by World One Development. Put your seatbelts on. It's a hot one, y'all. We'll be right back.
EduRec is a youth and family fun center located at 5424 North Madison Avenue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At EduRec, we offer a host of activities for children and families of the Tulsa community at little to no cost. To find out about the many programs, activities, and services offered at EduRec, please visit our website, www.edurectulsa.com, or just give us a call at 918-430-3947.
Fitting Back In is a reintegration program designed to help those released from prison to fit back into the community as productive, valuable members of society. They help schedule various classes such as anger management, substance abuse, and mental health. They also work with different programs in the community to provide job training. If you or someone you know needs help with resources in career development, employment, or housing, to find out more information, call 918-592-3500 or stop by 2121 North Harvard Avenue, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
The Tucker women are up early to prepare a very important meal, or at least that's what Mama said. But as the day wears on, past hurts and old resentments boil to the surface, making a mess of everything. Theater North presents Stew. Stew explores the substance, that special stuff passed between kinswomen, and how the secrets we keep from our mothers eventually become the secrets we keep from ourselves. Don't miss this amazing stage play, May 18th and 19th, and May 25th and 26th at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center, Liddy Dungeons Theater. Stew is written by Zora Howard and directed by Michelle Cullum. Coming to the Tulsa Performing Arts Theater. Get your tickets right now at TulsaPAC.com or call 918-596-7111. Stew, May 18th and 19th, and May 25th and 26th at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center.
This is News You Can Use right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and World One Development News You Can Use with Charles and Damali.
And we are back. And I'm headed to Stu because that commercial was the truth. I'm telling y'all right now.
I love it.
So News You Can Use is all about shedding some light on the positive happenings in our community. There are many great businesses, programs, and events occurring in our neighborhood. And we felt the community needed to hear about those things. One, so we can support, and two, so we can be informed.
What's going on, family? I'm Charles Harper, Chief Executive Officer of World One Development, which includes Fitting Back In, EduRec Youth and Family Fun Center, 36th Street North Event Center, and Oklahoma Community Support Coalition, My job, because the world wants to know, is to provide leadership for all aspects of World One development with the emphasis on long-term goals, growth, profits, and a return on that investment. And I am so excited and I am so elated to be one of the creators of this phenomenal show.
And I'm Damali Wilson, Chief Operating Officer for World One Development. And my job is designing and implementing business operations and establishing policies that promote company culture and vision. I am also in charge of social media for all of the World One Development entities. If you would like to advertise your business or organization on this show or any of our other individual platforms, inbox me your contact information on Facebook Messenger so we can talk. I am also happy and elated to be one of the creators of this phenomenal show.
Damali, is hump day.
It is hump day, and it is a beautiful day outside. I'm so excited.
It's a beautiful day in Mr. Harper's neighborhood. How about that?
Mr. Harper's neighborhood is, Mr. Harper's neighborhood is officially going on right now, ain't it?
I know.
Right.
But the neighborhood
Right.
is KBOB 89.9 FM. Man, it is a beautiful day outside. Hopefully you are out and about. I know the weather is kind of bipolar. Yesterday, it was cold and the rain was coming down. We don't know what to do. And then a couple days before that, the tornadoes were coming out chasing us. I mean, man, what is going on, Damali? Is it just that time of year?
It's that time of year. Unfortunately, it is that time of year that we try to survive.
It was a thunder roll last night that clapped.
What?
Listen,
It was a thunder. It rolled. The thunder rolled, and then it said clap,
you know what?
and it shook the whole city.
It shook my house so much
Did you
so
hear
that my
that?
cameras went out. I had to reboot my cameras at my house.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
That
I
was
was
the
like,
most
what is
intensive
happening here?
thunder clap I've ever heard.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You know what? The clap left me out. I didn't even hear the clap.
I thought it was the Oklahoma City Thunder first. but
Oh, they rolling like that.
I
Now,
thought it was
felt
the
that.
Oklahoma
I
City
feel the
Thunder,
Oklahoma
bro.
City Thunder now.
Oklahoma City Thunder
Now
is
they
rolling
clapping.
for
Now
sure.
they
that
clapping.
was the
Yes.
strongest thunder ever last night.
Man, we are so excited about the Oklahoma City Thunder advancing. That was a great segue. Advancing in the playoffs. They swept the Pelicans 4-0.
Man, the Thunder, that's the first time. So they made history. That's the youngest team one to ever do that.
Yeah.
They ranked number one in the West.
Yeah.
They came out number one. They're a young team. JB Smooth, what is going on, man?
I just got to give it to them young boys. I ain't been following.
Hey, they making it happen.
I have not been following the younger players in basketball, but now that you see what's going on, man, those guys are. I heard they got a lot of talent at the Thunder, and whoever did the recruiting has done a great job. Not only are they number one in the West, but they knocking boys down.
They're not playing the game.
Down. And the Pelicans were strong. Now, they didn't have big Zion. Now, Zion sound like a god. He built about like one, too. But he was not. He didn't play. So I can tell you right now, they probably would have won a couple games if Zion was playing because he's a force of nature.
Well, I have a question.
What's your question?
What happened to the Lakers?
How about them? I was going to try to change the subject.
No,
Say, how about them Cowboys?
Don't try to change the subject. What happened to your Lakers?
Man, you know what? At the end of the day, they ran into the champs.
I'm gonna be like Shaq.
Yes, see,
I'm gonna be like Shaq.
Don't do that.
Yo, they down there in Galveston in the dirty water. Don't send them to the ocean. Don't send them to the beach. Send them down there to Galveston, Texas, to where the dirty water, Biloxi, Mississippi, or somewhere, because they don't deserve to go to the beach.
Now they out there on Galveston.
They fishing.
But if you watch that series, all the games were good games.
No, they were good games.
They was good games, man.
Yeah, they were
Charles,
good games.
I know you be watching the games.
I'll be watching.
What is going on with your guy, LeBron?
Man, LeBron was hooping.
What
He
happened?
was hooping.
LeBron was hooping. Trust me, it didn't have nothing to do with LeBron and AD. They just didn't have enough role players. So basically, this is what happened. The role players for Denver outplayed the role players
Harper
for the Lakers. That's really the tale of the tape.
And that's Mr. Harper's take on what happened to the Lakers.
And look, you put Big Jokic out there, AD hooped. I mean, Jokic couldn't do nothing.
But the Joker can carry the Denver team. He has great role players. But some of the things you've seen him do, he can shoot from deep. He can play down low. He can bring the ball up the court. The Joker is the truth.
Yeah.
Compared to LeBron, how do you compare those two? No, the Joker is the best player in the NBA right now, no doubt. Mm-hmm. You know, he's the best player in the league, man. Nobody operates as efficient. You know, LeBron is my guy. Yeah. LeBron is on the back end, though. So he's not like better than LeBron is the GOAT. I know the MJ. We ain't starting no debate because it's not two dogs.
No debate.
We ain't gonna play no debate. But Michael and LeBron are my favorite. So I'll do this, Damali. MJ was the best of his time,
yes,
and LeBron is the best of this time. Yes. To me, that's fair to say. Two different players. They didn't play against each other. So let's just give Jordan his props. He dominated what he did. and LeBron equally did the same thing. But Jokic is his league right now.
I'm sticking with Shaq.
Sticking with Big Shaq.
Sticking with Shaq.
Just like that. Let me give some quick shout outs,
Okay.
man, real quick. There's a lot of people in here, y'all. We got a loaded show and we getting into the good stuff, so you can get ready for that. Jeremiah Blackwell, now he is a Pelican fan. So I enjoy talking to Blackwell. I'm like, what? Because he's the ultimate. And AD with the Pelican for many, many years. He switched over to LA on him, man. We playing that California Jam right now.
Right.
But shout out to Maestro Sigalo. Appreciate you tuning in. Mr.
Hey.
AJ. Mr.
Hey,
Energizer.
AJ.
He in the house, Jacksonville, Arkansas, baby, representing Bigfoot country. Also, Alicia Walker is in here with us. Your mom,
Hey,
my
mommy.
mom. Let me tell you right now, Kevin Gilliam, welcome to the
Hey,
show.
Kevin.
Everybody need a cousin named Kool-Aid.
Okay,
Drink
what's
your
up?
some. He in the building. And we got a lot of others, and I promise I'm going to come back because I can't get to all of y'all right now because we got to load this show. And the secret listeners, let me tell you something. I don't know what it is about the first Wednesday of the month, but the secret listeners are lined up around the corner. So start, click, and share because we finna give people some news they can use.
Okay. Hey, so first of all, I want to just put you guys in the know. There's a lot going on right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you're looking for something to do or a quick vacation, you can swing by and check out Mayfest. And we're going to talk about some of these a little bit later in the show. But Mayfest is one of the big things that's happening in May. Black Wall Street Rally is happening in May. Legacy Fest starts out June 1st and then Juneteenth. So you got 4 events right there. Boom, 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 boom. So make sure that you're tuning in to the end of the show so we can give you all of the details. But we just want to say that on the front end so you'll be ready for it on the back end.
That is good stuff. That's good stuff.
And before we get started, we want to send out to the family and friends of the 4 officers that were killed and 4 people were wounded in North Carolina.
Right.
The police said they were serving a felony warrant. And this guy for some sort of gun charge, and this guy just opened up and killed a couple 4 officers. That is just crazy, absolutely crazy. And so we want to just send up prayers because these guys were doing their job. And lost their lives. They have families, and this is just a terrible tragedy. But we want the North Carolina family to know that we are sending up prayers for you guys for this terrible, terrible, senseless crime.
Definitely.
Yeah, and that's why anytime you see an officer or a first responder, that's why you thank them for their service.
Right.
Because they on the front lines.
Mm-hmm.
When things like this happen and situations that happen, they the one got to be there. And then when somebody decides to do something out of the ordinary, man, sometimes it's a costly price to that. So prayers for those families, man. So we gonna keep that going today. That's for sure. That's sad news right there. Damali.
Yes. We also want to send up prayers to those affected by tornadoes in Oklahoma. The last report I read, there were 4 dead, 100 injured, and also in Omaha, Nebraska, 100 people have been displaced. So prayers for those families. And if you are in any of the areas where these displaced individuals are, and you can help. Red Cross is always a great place to go to help volunteer, to give your time in service to help with these tragedies. But prayers to all of those individuals.
What about now? When you say displaced, are you saying some people are missing or they don't have a home?
No, they don't have homes anymore.
Okay.
That's
not
an
good,
area,
but it's better because I was like, man.
No, there's an area that was actually leveled.
Like 200 homes. And so we got a lot of family and friends in Omaha. So nothing but love and prayers coming you guys' way. They should have claimed that like a national disaster.
It probably is. I'm sure that whatever that threshold is, I haven't heard as of yet, but I'm sure that it probably will be.
Well, from right here on Black Wall Street, here on Greenwood, man, prayers to you guys. With everything that's going on, we always got your back, and we're going to make sure we keep people informed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So are you guys ready for the Black History trivia question?
I think I am.
I got a good one today.
Oh, you got a good one?
I got a good one today.
She done loaded up something. She done went into the chop shop.
I did. All right. What African American is the all-time leading scorer in women's collegiate basketball? Is it A, Lynette Woodard, B, Pearl Moore, C, Cheryl Miller, or D, Pamela McGee?
I know the answer to this. JB, go ahead.
I'm going to have to Google the answer. Hold on.
We're not Googling.
JB says stand by so we can Google. What y'all got on the live, man? I see y'all on here. What y'all got? Read it one more time, Damali, while JB answer it.
One more time. What African American is the all-time leading scorer in women's collegiate basketball? Is it A, Lynette Woodard, B, Pearl Moore, C, Cheryl Miller, or D, Pamela McGee?
Ooh, JB, what you got?
I'm going to go with not Cheryl Miller. either.
Well, what is it?
Pamela McGee sounds like she's from Tulsa. I don't know if we have a leading scorer from Tulsa. So my final answer is going to be B, Pearl Moore. Pearl Moore, B. That's my final answer.
All right.
Man, I think you pulled a 44 fake on me. JB, she done pulled a 44 fake. When she read it the second time,
no contest.
I said of all time, because you know what? Sometime when records are out there, they try to smooth over it and don't say, because I was thinking Cheryl Miller. That's it, because Cheryl Miller. But I was like, wait a minute.
The first name that comes to mind is Cheryl.
Yeah, that's the first thing, but that's not who it is.
I know.
Who y'all got on the live? Now, come on, Arthur Johnson, Mr. AJ.
He say A or D.
Now
You gotta pick one. You can't
You
B.
only got, when you take the ACT, you only can pick one answer. Now I see the prayer hands.
Right.
Well, I appreciate that, but that was for another.
Okay, so AJ says A. He committed. All right, AJ says A. Okay.
It's B.
It's B. Okay, Sanders. All right.
Man, he said that with his chest.
Okay, Jeremiah says A.
Look, I'm a brother of Phi Beta Sigma, and that's two veterans. I gotta go with A. I don't have no other choice. One of them an ace and one of them a deuce. That's gonna work for me, because I definitely think you pull a 44 fake on me. What y'all got on the live? Y'all come on in.
She said all time. Let me read this again. All time. What African American is the all-time leading scorer in women's collegiate basketball?
Right.
I'm going
African American all time.
Yeah.
Leading scorer.
Yeah.
Y'all better check. Don't be out there trying to Google it. We know y'all.
No,
you know the
don't
reason why I
Google.
said that, because that Caitlin Clark, they just tried to say it was her.
Yeah.
And
Nope.
see, I seen that article. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
That's
I've
where the
seen it
44
too.
fake come in, but I ain't
I've
gonna
seen
say
it too.
nothing. But it wasn't
So
Cheryl.
is Caitlin Clark, that's not the other Caitlin that be in the news all the
She
time.
a white girl with a
Yeah.
sniper. Let's call it a sniper. She's sniper-ish.
So
Can't
that's
take
the
that
young
away.
lady that was first
Hooper from
round.
Iowa,
Yes,
the
first
pick.
round, first
Oh,
pick.
she a
Mhm.
Hooper.
Caitlin, huh?
Caitlin
She
Clark,
wasn't
man.
even in this list, so we know it ain't her.
But
She's not African
If
American.
she's not African American.
Aha.
Damali got us over with the 42 pump fake.
Yeah, she did.
All right, so y'all stay tuned. We're gonna get the answer at the end of the show.
Yep.
At the end of the show. All right, so you guys know what today is.
Yes.
One of my favorite drops. Let's hit it.
That's the sound of the police.
And now it's time for the police report. The police report on news you can use with TPD officer and Lieutenant DeLorean Sanders.
Go ahead, drop it on the board. One day I'll fix your name too, buddy.
Listen, check this out. That crash at the end, I just don't like it.
That when I hear that crash,
I
it's
just
been a
don't
crash.
like it.
I'm like, send the people.
Yes.
Send the paramedics.
Exactly.
Send the firemen. Send the police. It's been a
It's
crash.
so sad.
Lieutenant DeLorean Sanders, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yes.
Welcome back.
I'm glad.
Welcome
You
back.
had a birthday yesterday.
Yes.
Yes.
Happy birthday to the
Yes.
man, the myth, the legend.
What did you do for your birthday?
You know what? My grandkids made me ride bikes with them.
Oh,
What?
okay.
I had to ride
What?
riding down Greenwood on the bikes.
That's
Okay,
not
was
bad.
that fun?
That's
Did
not
you have a
bad
good
looking.
time?
Ride on Greenwood.
Yeah, good grandpa.
Yeah.
Yes, right there, grandpa.
I like
What
that.
your grandkids call you?
Pawpaw.
Pawpaws.
Pawpaw.
Good-
Let's
good
go, Pawpaw.
Okay.
But that bike a struggle, because they said once you done rode it's easy, but were you kind of wobbly with that little?
No, I was good.
You was good. You was solid.
They was leaving me, but I
They were leaving you. Yes, I ain't gonna get it that. Oh, so so how your calf muscles feeling today is what I want to know. How your calf muscles feeling?
they feel fine. I feel good.
You good. You good.
All
Okay.
right, we'll leave it
Okay.
alone.
Survive. He's
Yeah.
safe.
But happy birthday. Look, Damali, birthdays don't come easy nowadays.
Now,
So
did you
man,
get
I'm
cake?
telling you.
Oh yeah, I got cake.
Okay. What kind of
Yeah,
cake
cake.
you have?
What we did cupcakes.
Oh.
That's what he did.
That's cool. That's
He told them kids, y'all go on without me. He seen the cupcakes coming.
I'm gonna be sitting
Go
there
on
eating
without
cupcakes.
me. Go on without Sanders.
Right.
And sit back. He got all the little cream all on his
Yeah.
nose. He back there eating
Yes.
cupcakes. You know what I'm talking about? But Officer Sanders, man, look, let me tell you something. You are one person that we appreciate still being here on this earth, still serving, still showing up, still being positive, still making North Tulsa the best community to live in. And we appreciate that.
Yes. Thank you for your service for sure. So today we're going to talk about homelessness.
Man.
And some things that you guys might not know, which I was actually shocked to find out some of these things. I'm like, what? You
right.
know,
I'm saying for all y'all people, man, we got 2.1.
Yeah.
Tracy Manning Gibbs, welcome
Hey,
to the show, boy.
sis.
Y'all is popping in here, and I don't even know what the signal listeners are.
Okay.
But look at here. When you have buildings, if you have friends that own properties and they lease and they do all that, you want to click share on this because you want to know this information because we didn't even know.
No.
That's
some
why
of
we
this
bringing
did not-
you
We did not know.
the news you can use. Let's do it.
So, did you guys know that the governor of Oklahoma signed a bill making homelessness a misdemeanor if a person refuses help?
What in the world? You done came
Yeah,
right out the
so
gate.
yeah, I found this. So Oklahoma's governor Kevin Stitt signed a bill on Friday making unauthorized camping on public lands a misdemeanor, punishable by a fine or even time in jail. Senate Bill 1854 creates the new misdemeanor crime of unauthorized camping. It applies to homeless people who refuse to accept help and resources when law enforcement make contact with them about their living situation, likely in a tent on the side of the highway or in a median.
Oh, we got to get everybody to take on this. Y'all get in here on the live too. If y'all have a question, put it in. I'm gonna read it. I promise, because I didn't even know that. Lieutenant Sanders, this is your show. It's your day. It's the police report. What do you think about that?
Well, this is what I think about it. He passed it, but it's not really hardly things we can do about that.
Right.
I mean, because a lot of them like sidewalk, that's public,
Right.
and stuff like that, and we violate people's rights. I know we got state law. But we can almost violate people's right by making people move off the sidewalk. That's where we see a lot of them laying on the sidewalk. We don't make them move because that's public. That's public property. Public property right there.
And is that probably why they are there? Is because they know that it's public property?
They may not know it. Some of them do. Some of them do. But I think they sometimes they just be so tired they just stop where he is and go to sleep.
Wow.
Yeah, man. That's what it look like to me.
DJ JB Smooth, get in here, man. Did you know that being homeless could now is a misdemeanor, punishable by a fine or going to jail?
Well, don't prosecute me, Mr. Officer.
Man.
I got a shout out to everybody on 11th and Elgin at the Homeless Depot. And 11th and Utica.
Yeah.
15th in Denver.
They all around.
Some hot spots for homelessness in Tulsa.
Yeah.
And I tell you, it can break your heart to go by there and see some of the things you see. But on the other side, some of those people are living better than others.
Yeah.
Some of them have lots of benefits.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of them are entitled to things other people can't get because they are homeless. It's a crazy situation. But one thing I will say that somewhere along the lines, mental health is definitely
playing a big role
in Tulsa's homelessness population. I don't know about everywhere. I go other places, and let's say this right now: homelessness is not just a problem in Tulsa.
No, it's not. It's a problem everywhere.
I've been to Seattle.
What about LA?
You got people living off the side of the highways with their whole houses packed up with the tarp.
Yeah.
I seen that with my own eyes. I've seen LA.
Yeah.
What they call it, Skid Row. It's a real thing. It'll break you down if you don't got a strong stomach.
Right.
Because the way people have chosen to live, being homeless, it's tough, man. Yeah. You wonder if they're making a choice. Was it drugs? Was it something that they just went through in life? And you just wonder, like, what got them to that point?
Right.
And there's a lot. I mean, and there's a lot of different things. I remember I used to work at Kentucky Fried Chicken that used to be on 15th in Denver. And there was a black gentleman that used to come in all the time. And one of our managers, took to, trying to help him. And I asked her one day, I'm like, why do you always, try to help him? And she said, he used to be one of the most prominent black attorneys here in town.
Wow.
And what happened was his wife died, then his kid, two of his kids died, and then something else happened. And it was just like the last straw.
Kind of gave up on life.
Yeah, and he just was like, that's it, I'm done. And he's been homeless ever since. And I don't ever know, whatever happened to this gentleman. But I will tell you this, I ran across another article that our mayor, Mayor G.T. Bynum, he said that the police have said for 3 months in a row, their survey shows that the number one concern for people in Tulsa is crime being committed by people who are homeless.
Wow.
He says that the police can and should enforce all laws, no matter if a person is homeless or not. He said that what he has heard is that officers say that they have felt that their hands were tied when it came to dealing with some of the issues surrounding the homeless. But Bynum said that everyone will be treated equally. What do you think about
Sanders,
that, Lieutenant Sanders?
I mean, yeah, we do deal with the homeless. We do. If they do commit a crime, we will take them to jail. We will arrest them. But I think one thing to understand, like vacant houses and stuff like that, people see homeless people going in vacant houses,
right?
And they want to call it a burglary. It's not a sometimes it's not a burglary. You know, they just in there. They just in there. We try to run them off, and sometimes if they stay there long enough, it's hard to get them to leave.
Right.
You know, they'll just come back when we, you know,
they call it squatting.
Yeah, squatting.
Right.
Yeah, they come on back after we leave. You know, and you know that's what we tell people that own property need to put no trespassing signs up, things like that, and board your houses. If you're not gonna come around, put boards on your houses so people can't get inside the house. Because in the wintertime they set fires in the houses.
Man, that's when they get dangerous.
And we have had people burn people's houses down, trying to live
stay
in there,
warm.
to stay warm.
That's pretty sad. Ernestine Broom, hold on, I just want to say, Angie.
Hey,
it's a new day is in the building. Angie, welcome. She's a homeowner. I know Angie better listen up and get this little information on news you can use.
Angie, your ears is getting ready to get hot.
Miss Ernestine Broom, she said, good afternoon, tuning in.
Hey,
Continue
Miss Broom.
prayer for our sister, man, because she is just, man, a staple in the community. We love her so much. Arthur Johnson said they making these human beings more homeless to give them a fine they cannot even pay, which is absolutely true. Darius Warner, welcome to the show.
Hey,
and my
Darius.
friend, Mr. Elvis Stewart, welcome to the show.
Hey.
We're talking about homelessness. Do y'all have problems in your city, in your state?
Do you guys think that the homeless problem with them making it a misdemeanor, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a tough one, right? I'm starting with Lieutenant Sanders. What do you think on that?
Well, we already got laws set aside to deal with homeless. So I don't know what they're trying to do here, because we already got, ways that we can take them to jail and stuff like that if we need to. All this is going to do is make them have a warrant, because they're not going to pay the fine.
Right.
And then we got to take them to jail, and then
that takes up resources.
Yeah, it takes up resources, and so I don't know if it's a good thing or not. I don't think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Compared to places like Norman. In Norman or Moore, you have to have a permit to be able to stand on the corner and beg for money.
That's crazy.
And panhandle.
What?
That permit, I believe, costs $250. Do you guys think that would help here if Tulsa instilled that?
We already got a route. They supposed to have on a yellow vest when they do that. Stand on the corner. A lot of them
really
don't. Yeah, they can ask for money, but they got to have one of them yellow vests on or orange vests on.
Hey, y'all don't lie. Eli Grayson
for safety.
Welcome to the show. And Tracy Manning Gibbs said, "Government politics shaking my head."
Yeah,
local government too.
So, Lieutenant Sanders, you brought up the point about squatters,
right?
And so this is the thing, and I was just saying, Angie Walker, she is actually on from It's a New Day on NYCU.FM, but we were talking about this the other day, and I was sharing with her some of this research, and I'm joking saying her ears are about to get hot, because she about to get real mad. But so this is the thing in Oklahoma, there are not any specific laws for the removal of squatters according to squatters' rights. And so, but this is what I found. And so for those of you, just like Lieutenant Sanders is saying, you need to take steps to make sure that if you own a property, that you are securing your property correctly. And I'm going to give you some suggestions on how you need to do that here after we talk about squatting in Oklahoma. But check this out. So to remove a squatter, a landowner must file a judicial eviction.
Let's do this. What's the definition, Lieutenant Sanders, of a squatter? Because everybody might not know what a squatter is.
Basically, my definition, you just moved in somebody's house. That's vacant. Put your stuff in there. Start making up residencies, getting mail there, and living there, and the owner don't know because they haven't checked on their house. And so this took over. And then when the owner finally comes, say, you're not supposed to be in here, we can't kick them out.
Yeah,
man, I'm from Arkansas. What we call that is setting up shop without permission. That's what we call it. Now, I don't know what y'all want to call it. Without permission, you just setting up shop. And like I say, I have a sensitive spot because you never know what people are going through. But we're just trying to give you the information so you can make the right decision.
Let me add this too. Lots of time when it comes to squatters, y'all call Tulsa police. Y'all call the police department, and we can't handle that. That's because that's simple. It turns to a simple thing. You have to call Tulsa County.
Yeah,
we just can't go kick people out the house once they say they live there. They say, I get mail here. I've been living here for this many months. We just can't go in and kick nobody out.
In the Oxford Dictionary, defines squatting as a person who unlawfully occupies an uninhabited building or unused land.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is the deal. So in Oklahoma, in order to remove a squatter, a landlord owner must file a judicial eviction. If you find out that a squatter is living in your property, you need to serve written notice.
Yeah.
File a formal Oklahoma eviction complaint in court,
Yes.
and attend or get an attorney to attend a hearing to lawfully remove the squatter.
Now let's do this because you just said unlawfully, and then you got to get to the courthouse. So we got another special guest that's going to be jumping on with us to kind of unpack this a little more. So we're going to take the quickest break known to mankind, if we can. And when we come back, we're going to deal with how the judicial system deals with this situation when the homeless police have to come to the courthouse. This is KBOB 89.9 FM World One Development News you can use with Charles and Damali. We got another special guest coming up next.
Yes. The 36th Street North Event Center is a full-scale event center where we share the experiences of the community. At the event center, you can rent space for weddings, birthday parties, receptions, concerts, Greek events, quinceañeras, and much more. We also do custom decor, linen, and centerpieces. We're located at 1125 East 36th Street North. To book your next special event, business gathering, or community event, call us at 918-200-9046.
Fitting Back In is a reintegration program designed to help those released from prison to fit back into the community as productive, valuable members of society. They help schedule various classes such as anger management, substance abuse, and mental health. They also work with different programs in the community to provide job training. If you or someone you know needs help with resources in career development, employment, or housing, to find out more information, call 918-592-3500 or stop by 2121 North Harvard Avenue, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Hey. Are we live, y'all? I'm just playing KBOB 89.9 FM, World One Development News you can use, Charles and Damali, and we are back.
We are back. So we've been talking about homelessness, and we have rolled over into squatters, but we have a special guest that's in studio that just walked in. And so we want to make sure that we introduce our special guest, but then we also want to get his take on some of the things that we've talked about and then talk about some new stuff, okay?
Right.
So we have in studio our very own district attorney, Steve Kunzweiler, that is here with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be back on your show. It's
I
always
know.
fun to talk to you guys.
We haven't seen you in a while.
I know.
It's
I'm
been
ready.
a little bit. You been busy?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
As everybody at this table has been
Absolutely.
busy.
You know what? We're getting ready to start our summer camp. So we're going to have to get you to come over there and read to the kids. Yeah. You haven't done that in a while.
I can read a very mean Dr. Seuss book. I am very good at that.
Yeah. Man, a lot of people don't know, man. You go back like 10 years. The very first program that we had at EduRec, the DA used to come over and read to the kids on Saturday.
Yeah.
We was doing a food on the move event, so he would come out to those events on Tuesday when we did other events. So, and what our goal was, and even when we did the Breakfast of Champions, you know, and he came and spoke to that. So what we try to do, that's why we do the police report and we do this. We try to bridge that gap because a lot of times, because you don't get to talk to somebody, you don't get to see them, then thus you don't have a relationship. So what I love about KBOB, we get a chance to tell our story our way. We get to bring people together so people can listen in, ask questions, and build that rapport. So now later in life, if something unfortunately come along, at least you know a person, you can put a face with a name, you know what's going on. What you think about that, Damali?
I totally agree. So I'm going to get you to weigh in on this. We talked about this a little bit and gave our opinions, but we want to hear yours. So this says
so, hey, before you ask me that question, let's do a face with a name with a phone number. So anybody wants to talk, my number is 918-261-0548. That's my cell phone.
Yeah.
I am not afraid to talk with people. You call or text me and you give me, hey, I got this particular issue. I believe in what you're saying. They do need to be able to reach their folks that they've put in office. And so I'm not afraid to put my phone number out there.
What's that number one more time?
Yeah. So 918-261-0548.
You know, we got like 3.1 thousand people on the line.
I'm okay with that.
I just want to make sure.
I bet I could. I bet if we did the who's got the most contacts in their phone, I bet I'd beat you. right now. If we,
I bet you would.
Challenge.
Let's
That's
do this.
challenge.
I think
He said, pull it out.
Yeah,
I think another thing that's good, a lot of times on the show, because people don't know, we got a lot of people, local, national, and international. We like to give people like a second just to say a little bit about themselves. Man, this is why I went to school, kind of how I grew up. I'm from Tulsa. I'm not from Tulsa. I moved here. That's why I'm in this job. Just so people have a little idea of just who you are if they don't know.
So Steve Kunzweiler, my wife's Christine. She's a veterinarian. I met her on a blind date in high school.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
It took that woman 8 years to figure out that she needed to marry me. We've been married 35 years, got 3 daughters, Sandra, 34, Jenny, 32, Jackie, 23. I went to the University of Missouri for undergraduate. My undergrad degree is agriculture journalism.
Really?
And came here to go to law school at TU, fell in love with Tulsa, haven't looked back, been a prosecutor since I graduated law school.
Man, just like that. Talking about gone in 60 seconds. Good job.
Okay,
I like how you did that.
Yeah.
Journalism, man.
Just like that. You know how to
drop those nuggets and move on.
Okay, Damali, let's jump into it.
So Governor Stitt signed a bill on Friday making unauthorized camping on public lands a misdemeanor, punishable by a fine or even jail time. Senate Bill 1854 creates a new misdemeanor crime of unauthorized camping. It applies to homeless people who refuse to accept help and resources when law enforcement make contact with them about their living situation, likely in a tent or on the side of a highway or in a median. What do you think about that? Do you think that is something that's going to be good? Because when we're talking about fines and homelessness, it just seems like those don't go together.
So start first with, I don't envy anybody that's put in a position where they're homeless.
Right.
But homelessness is not an excuse to commit a crime. And so, if we got our criminal justice system where we don't even have any leverage to help these people, and sometimes they have mental health issues, they have drug addiction issues, you have to have some ability to hold them somewhat accountable. And the best example I give for that is when we passed Proposition 788, I think it was, where we basically made every drug possession crime a perpetual misdemeanor. Well, it totally destroyed our drug court. And DeLorne can tell you about this. I mean, there are some people you almost have to hold their feet to the fire. And when they really are looking at, hey, this is your choice. We want you to get cleaned up. Or you may have to spend some time in jail. A lot of those folks say, okay, I'll try and get myself cleaned up. Well, it's the same dynamic, it seems to me, with these other populations. And it's even more difficult with mental illness.
Yes.
But we have alternative courts set up. But it has to kind of begin with court, right? It has to begin with an officer making contact with somebody, bring them to our attention, and then we kind of take over and we route them into things like drug diversion, DUI court, mental health court, veterans treatment court. A lot of these folks out there are veterans. And so, if we can connect them with the resources and you can get them access to the things that are causing them pain, whether it's, there's a reason you're living in a tent in a public park, right? And so you got to figure out how to pull those people out of that. But they should not be able to use that as an excuse to do whatever the heck they want. And so, there's got to be a balance.
Right. Damali, how come I didn't even know there was a veterans court? I didn't know it was homeless. I didn't even know that until you just said that.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Sanders, you want to chime in?
Well, I got to agree with him with something, because we also passed something where when we trespass people, sometimes we can just take them to the county. Now, we used to just take them to the city jail.
Right.
But we made it now, if they consistently get caught trespassing, we can go ahead and charge them for a state charge.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So Eli Grayson says, but when you create laws that make homelessness itself a crime, it's a problem. Not all homeless people are mentally ill or on drugs.
Right. But, you got rules in your home, right?
Right.
I mean, if I had a child that tried to use whatever explanation they wanted to use to justify their behavior was disruptive to the home environment, I'd have to enforce some of the rules.
Right.
And so I get it. I there's not an absence of compassion. I think sometimes you have to have laws to provide the compassion. And if you got folks out there that are, we have so many resources in this community, but we've got to be able to direct them there. In the old days, how long have you been on the department?
28.
Yeah, right. So I've been doing
28.
it 35 years, right? But back in the old days, officers would call me up and say, "Hey, I got this guy. I think he's mentally ill, and let's get him into some kind of mental health treatment type program." Well, when a lot of the mental health facilities and the places that you could take them to
like Vanita and all them.
Yes,
Right.
them,
they
yeah.
evaporated.
Yeah.
The only thing that officers could do, because they didn't want to return them to that environment, which was harmful to those people, they'd say, well, he was spitting on me or he's drunk or something, and then we'd have to try and work it out through the court system. So, what we're trying to work towards is give these officers an opportunity to pick them up. And then if we can set up what I would call a diversion hub, where the officer can say, all right, this guy needs to go over into something that's going to deal with drugs, alcohol, homelessness. This guy we got to get off streets because he's going to get in a fight with somebody, and we got to protect that community. So they're plenty smart on how to divert them, but we got to give them the opportunity to at least remove them from the environment that's causing harm to other people.
Just like that. Let's do what the mayor, G.T. Bynum, his pay. So that way we bring it to the city, because that was kind of state.
Okay.
And then
so Mayor Bynum said, Tulsa police said that for 3 months in a row, their survey shows that one concern for people in Tulsa is crime being committed by people who are homeless or are experiencing homelessness. Bynum said that police can and should enforce all laws, no matter if a person is homeless or not. He said that one of the complaints he's heard is that officers have felt that their hands have been tied when it came to dealing with some of the issues surrounding the homeless. But Bynum says everyone will be treated equally. What do you think about those comments?
Well, I agree with it. At the end of the day, you have a criminal court process, right?
Right.
And there's a big difference between somebody who is breaking in somebody's house, or it could be breaking in somebody's tent who's got property, who becomes a victim. There's a big difference between committing certain violent crimes where we want to route them away from all of us, right? There's the population you and I are angry at.
Yes.
And there's a population you and I are afraid of. So we try and separate those out. The people we're afraid of, you got to get them off and away from the law-abiding citizens. But the people you're angry at, they keep on ringing the bell. It's a drug issue. It's a mental health issue. So you got to do what you can. I was shocked when this issue came up with one of the downtown business owners who was pointing out, he's like, man, we're just getting overrun. I can't even recruit people into my buildings to house them. I pulled stats for October through December. 40% of the arrests that were coming to the Tulsa County DA's office, the person's address was listed as transient.
Wow.
So, from my
40%,
perspective,
that's high.
But think about it. I mean, if you don't have to be accountable to anything and you're out there committing crimes, it's like that's where I started drawing the line.
Scary.
Like I am not going to allow transient status, homeless status, to be the excuse to commit crimes. We can't. As a culture, we can't.
Can we go to I'm asking you, do you remember the case where there was a murder by homeless individuals over by the Quick Trip, I-244 in Sheridan, and they were living out in the field?
Totally remember. Yeah.
You remember this case?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so what was it like to prosecute that case? And did you feel different because they were homeless, or how did that affect you?
Human beings are human beings, and I tell jurors all the time, I was like, hey, listen, at the end of the day, we are a society of laws and we follow the rule of law. You have to be able to separate your emotion from listening to facts and applying facts to law. And so oftentimes, think about a murder case. I mean, there's nothing going to be more emotional. You're going to have family members crying. You're going to have, or you may have situations like this where it's just like, man, I feel sorry for these people.
Because everyone was homeless in the situation.
It's an awful environment. But you have a victim on one side and you have a perpetrator on the other. And ultimately, you either abide by the law or not. Do we take those things into account? Let's say that person says, hey, listen, I want to take accountability for my action. Here's what my life has been like. Then you take that in. And that's the job of their attorney or the prosecutor's like, okay, why are you out there homeless? What's going on with your life? Give me some explanation for how this unfolded. Sometimes it could be self-defense. Sometimes it could be drugs. Sometimes it could be mental health. And you try and account for that, that not everybody gets charged with murder is going away for the rest of their life. Sometimes we'll knock it down to murder, second degree, manslaughter, or something like that.
We have one more question.
Sure.
The second part of that question is, you and Sanders both probably have the most difficult jobs in any city or state to occupy, which entails in people going to jail, and you have the decision on how long a person goes to jail, or you have that power in your hands. Where does that feel like? to have that power, the ability to determine whether a person goes to jail on Sanders' part, but you're the second phase of it, making the decision on what happens to them after they're arrested.
Sure. So you all know me. I'm Catholic, right? So I my eternal life is going to be dictated not by you all, right, or anybody on this planet.
Right.
My eternal life is going to be dictated by God, and so I focus how I approach people through that lens. It's a tremendous responsibility. I recognize when I sign my name on a charge, I'm making somebody's life public, right? And that could be life altering for those people. So I have to be very conscientious of that. Ultimately, though, I make recommendations. It's a judge or jury that's ultimately going to say, "Hey, I agree with you, Coonsweiler," or "Hey, I disagree with you," and they come up with what they believe justice to be. But I would think if what you would want in any police officer like DeLorme, I mean, you're not doing this for 29 years unless you have a servant's heart. You want to find and recruit those people who recognize they're serving the community and the people I'm fighting for right now, and I'm sure the people he's fighting for right now, are some of them are most vulnerable, the mentally ill.
Yeah.
I mean, we have state agencies that could care less about their charge to take care of these people. And so we're in a battle just to try and get state agencies to provide the housing for those people so we can get them off streets, because they become victims. If you're a rapist, you're targeting somebody who's addicted to drugs. You're targeting somebody who's mentally ill, because nobody wants to believe those people can be victimized.
And let's do this right here, because I know we're going to have to jump into like when this situation get to the courts. But before we get there, because we're big on educating people, informing people so that they understand who people are and what their role is. So we have so many people on local, national, and international. Can you just kind of explain, you're the DA, but like your position, like this is my staff, this is how it works. If you see me, this is what it looks in my everyday world.
Yeah. So day to day, the way it works is law enforcement will do their initial workup. They can arrest people on probable cause.
Right.
My job is to review those charges, meaning me or any of my prosecutors, and we determine if we're going to file the formal charge. And we have to be convinced that we reasonably believe that a judge or a jury can find that person guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So we take their work product, we evaluate it, we make a decision whether to file what they arrested for or maybe some other charge. And then we present that information to the court. We have a victims witness center. And so DeLorme's been up there many times, and he's sitting there waiting, on the pine, so to speak, until he's called in to testify. We have, if God forbid, if one of your family members was victimized, we'd be talking with you or parents and walking them through the process.
Right.
And then it's just this multiple court type hearings where the defense is trying to raise their constitutional rights. And ultimately we get to a point where it's fish or cut bait, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Fish or cut bait, where it's like, you want to go to trial, you want to take my deal, and then we go, right?
Yeah.
And then ultimately, some of these people, when you put them on probation, sometimes they screw up. Sometimes they do great, and you review their case and you discharge their case, and they move on with their life, and we move on to the next case.
Is the deal more about just solving the case quickly, or are you really saying this is the best deal for you?
Well, I mean, my job ultimately is to make sure that I've got a prosecutable case, right? And so oftentimes we know, I mean, evidence is always coming in. I mean, when he catches them, he may catch them red-handed, but some other detective might be out there checking Ring doorbell cameras. They might be pulling his phone and looking and seeing if there is GPS is hitting somewhere off of the location to kind of corroborate it up. So the case is always, in my opinion, getting better.
Right.
But, also that's when the defense attorney's job is kind of point out, all right, here's my guy's problem. Here's what's been going on, or here's your your star witness is not believable. As a matter of fact, he's setting this dude up. So, it's an evolving process, but ultimately his job is to see that justice is served. And I've had many police officers who initially made an arrest on somebody, who've come back and said, I have figured out that this particular person didn't commit that crime. This other guy did it, and so our job is different from everybody else. We don't get to say, I'm on this side and I'm trying to win for my side and you're on that side. Our job is to make sure that whatever gets in front of a judge or jury is the truth.
Right.
Just like I just want to say, welcome to the show, Sherry Gordon,
hey.
Wayne. Welcome to the show, and then Eli has a question. Can you read that? Can you see that?
I can. Yeah. Okay. So Eli says some people just don't have the jobs that pay for high rent today. In California, they have had hardworking people living in cars because their jobs don't cover food, insurance, housing, etc. And it's happening in Oklahoma as the prices go up. To curtail the fastest growing population of homeless people, which are working folks who can't afford housing, the city needs to pass rent control laws.
Wow.
Well, it's going to be a civil issue. This is my take on all of this, right? Mm-hmm. God created us to feel as though we were providing, we were making something of our life.
Right.
I believe we all should be working. Mm-hmm. Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you can give a guy a job or give a gal a job, that allows her to feel as though at the end of her day, she contributed something to the community, to herself. It instills confidence in that person. We have way too many people who just can't seem to get a job, and we've made it too hard for employers to hire some of these folks, right? So if we can figure out how to make jobs more available to build the confidence in these people, I suspect a lot of some of the homelessness issues go away. I do have a beef, though. There are some folks out there that are trying to buy up all the housing.
Man, right.
And they drive the rent up so they can make a profit. I do have a problem with those people.
Yeah.
Okay, I think what we need to do is take a real quick break. When we come back, at some point, homelessness and the things that are going on, it makes it to the court system. We want to get to how we deal with that. And we also want to say, what can we do to help as a community? You know, as people that work within this community that we love, how can we make it better? Because we're not passing judgment on anybody. We're just trying to figure out a way to make Tulsa, Oklahoma, and maybe the state you live in a little bit better. This is KBOB. 89.9 FM, World One Development News. You can use it with JB with a question.
And when we come back, we're going to play a game with the district attorney. It's called Guilty or Not Guilty. He gave us his phone number. We're going to call it right here live on the air to see if he's telling the truth, or we're going to have to prosecute him. That's happening next.
News you can use, y'all.
Right.
All right, let's do it.
The Tucker women are up early to prepare a very important meal, or at least that's what Mama said. But as the day wears on, past hurts and old resentments boil to the surface, making a mess of everything. Theater North presents Stew. Stew explores the substance, that special stuff passed between kinswomen, and how the secrets we keep from our mothers eventually become the secrets we keep from ourselves. Don't miss this amazing stage play, May 18th and 19th, and May 25th and 26th at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center. Liddy Dungeon Steele. Stew is written by Zora Howard and directed by Michelle Cullum. Coming to the Tulsa Performing Arts Theater. Get your tickets right now at TulsaPAC.com or call 918-596-7111. Stew, May 18th and 19th, and May 25th and 26th at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center.
EduRec is a youth and family fun center located at 5424 North Madison Avenue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At EduRec, we offer a host of activities for children and families of the Tulsa community at little to no cost. To find out about the many programs, activities, and services offered at EduRec, please visit our website, www.edurectulsa.com, or just give us a call at 918-430-3947.
KBOB 89.9 FM, World One Development News. You can use Charles and Damali, and we are back.
Okay, guys, you ready to do the game?
Hey, we ready to do the game.
Guilty or not guilty is the game with the district attorney. And Officer Sanders didn't give us his number, but we're going to test out Kunzweiler here. Okay, I'm going to call the number now.
You might be hitting them buttons.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. And you're ringing.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to answer? Yeah.
Let's go to the mic.
This is Steve.
Hey, Steve, how you doing? Steve, y'all make some noise for Steve. It's really his number. Oh, my God. Great job, Steve. The verdict is in.
Yeah.
He's not guilty.
Not guilty. Not guilty.
Beat me on the context game either.
No, nobody beat me on the context.
About 5,000. That's a lot. I'm like way off.
Yeah, that's way too many contacts.
That's why you have to tune in to World One Development News. You
never know what's
going to happen. Just like that, man. We have a good time, y'all. We got Lieutenant Delon Sims. We got the DA, Mr. Steve Kunzweiler. Homelessness. We unpacking it. Damali, what we got?
So this is a thing that I was actually talking to one of our business partners, and I was sharing with her about squatters in Oklahoma. Right. And I mean, both of us were like, just like this is so stupid. I mean, when you own a piece of property and someone, decides they want to take up residency in your space, then we've got to do the work, So I'm going to read this again. We talked about it a little bit before you actually got here, but I'm just going to read this again. So to remove a squatter, a landowner must file a judicial eviction. If you find out that a squatter is living in your property, you need to serve written notice, file a formal Oklahoma eviction complaint in court, and attend or get an attorney to attend a hearing to lawfully remove the squatter. When we were talking about this, my coworker was like, my ears are getting hot. I'm so mad.
Let me ask. I'll ask this way because what I love about our show is we able to just be transparent and talk. So you have a property that you lease out.
Yes.
You got a couple properties you leased out. You're coming home, you drive by, and you see the lights on in there, and you don't have no lease sign with nobody.
Right.
What is your thought when you walk up to the door and it's a whole family? If this you got, because y'all on the other side, y'all are the law. How would y'all be dealing with? Do you immediately think about this, or do your human side be like, "Baby, what is going on? Give me my tank top and my boxing gloves. Somebody's in our home that we paid for."
Yeah.
How do y'all deal with that?
Well, my human side at the beginning, before I think about the law, I'm trying to make them leave.
Right.
Yeah, get out of my house.
Because I realize I can't do that.
Right.
Then I have to do it the right way, because you can't call Tulsa police to kick them out because it's civil.
It's a civil matter.
It's civil matter.
Isn't that something the police can't call the police to handle their business?
I mean, if they already been living there.
In this situation.
And now if they just got in there, we can get them out of there. Right. But if they've been living there for a while, it's hard for us to really enforce that. You're going to have to call Tulsa County. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Steve,
I mean, the reality, like,
I got to set the stage.
If we did come home.
Now, let me set the stage first. Where's your favorite place to travel? Where you travel? Just name a spot.
Out west.
Out west.
Utah.
So you went out west to Utah. You have an Airbnb. You didn't get to lease it out. Nobody's in there when you left. The family, y'all had a great time. You fly in. You got all the stuff. You're driving. You go by your Airbnb and all the lights are on. You knock on the door. They've been there for a week. What is your response? I just got to say something.
What are you doing in my vacation spot? I'd be like, get out of here.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. You're trying to call whoever it is. Like, I've got in a contract here, and of course they're going to have. In my opinion, they're probably going to have fake paperwork to just establish. Hey, I'm supposed to be here.
Right.
And screwing you on your money.
Right.
I think that's how we think. It's like there's a game being played.
Right.
If it was my own house and I came home and somebody was sitting there after I got back home from vacation, I'd be calling the police.
Right.
And I don't care if they said, hey, well, we were here and we're living here now. I was like, well, we have a crime called malicious injury to property, right?
Right.
They're disturbing my property, right? If I can demonstrate to the officer they're jacking with my stuff, I think the officer might have probable cause to make an arrest, and we would know it, right?
Yeah.
It's the harder cases where it's like you got some property on your back 40. Right.
Oh man.
That you don't
and you haven't been there for 6 years, and that's where it becomes a little more difficult because they probably have got their game in place already.
Okay.
So Eli said, I just love Eli. Eli says, I'm just gonna go McGirt on anybody trying to squat on my rent house.
Hey, want to do a quick shout out to Patricia Griffin. Welcome to the show. James Foster, welcome to the show. Lonzo, I think he's out of Missouri, Kansas City. Welcome to the show. Chris Patton, welcome to the show. We having a good time. Some family came by to visit us today, and we talking about homelessness. We having fun, but we giving you real information.
Absolutely.
And nuggets that you need to use.
So Miss Ernestine Broom said she had to evict the family who was living in her house, and but the police helped her get them out.
Oh, okay.
So y'all did a good job. So kudos.
That's a good job.
To Tulsa
you try to
Police.
create real scenarios because now the benefit that
She
you
said
had.
there was a whole
You see
family
the
of
DA,
squatters.
the DA came up with like 5 laws quick.
I know,
but
right?
See, most time when you out here every day, you might not have access, but knowing the law, say, oh yeah, I know what this is. The judicial say this and this, another one do this, and most people you don't have that. Your ears just burning, you're hot.
Right.
But you got to do the right thing.
Well, yeah, he said one that I didn't think about. I was like, oh, okay, we could do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think about that.
Okay, Damali, what we got next?
So, and I'll just say this really quick. You know, we're going to spend a lot of time on it. But so number one on this list of things that you need to do as a property owner, if you find yourself in this situation, is a landowner must serve the squatter a formal notice as per Oklahoma law, the length of which depends on the offense. A 5-day pay or quit notice for unpaid rent, or a 15-day quit notice with 10 days to cure for lease violations, or an immediate unconditional quit notice for illegal activity or imminent or irreparable harm. So there are different types of things that you need to file.
Is that Oklahoma?
This is Oklahoma.
Okay.
So you need to check with your state, because I know there's a lot of people on that are listening to this from other states across the country. So make sure that you're checking your list. I'm only speaking of Oklahoma because that's where we are. But yeah, so
let's do this because most people won't have access to that. So simplify it for the people that's listening in.
So yeah, it's real easy. If you're renting from somebody and for some reason, let's say your mom died up in or was in ill health up in Kansas,
right?
And for a month you had to go up there, and for whatever reason you weren't able to rent on your house.
Right.
Your landlord couldn't come in and say, "Well, she's squatting," right?
Right.
Wow,
there's a flip side to that.
Yes.
I mean, you want to make sure that people are legitimately renting, and maybe an emergency happened or they couldn't pay. You could at least be able to make the argument. That's why they are creating those exceptions for people who are missing rent payments or something like that. But the one who's just showing up and you've never met these people before and you have zero relationship, those are the ones that everybody gets hot ears about.
Right. That's a good. That's a great point.
Okay, so we're going to give you some ways that you can prevent squatters from living in your vacant Oklahoma property. So one is regularly inspect your property, which I think Lieutenant Sanders said that. Make your property appear to be inhabited during vacancy periods.
So what you're saying is this is called let's go proactive.
Yes.
Not reactive. The reactive,
exactly.
that's the ears being hot. This is the proactive. So do these things.
Yes.
And then you too don't need Lieutenant Sanders to come, and we don't need nobody to prosecute nobody.
Right.
Because you took these steps. Make our community better.
Install adequate lighting and security systems to deter unauthorized entry.
That's a good one.
Secure all doors, windows, and access points with sturdy locks and barriers. Post no trespassing signs on the property. Encourage neighbors to report any suspicious activity. Consider hiring a property management company. That's a good one. If feasible, keep the property in use, even if temporarily, to discourage squatting. So that's why there's such thing as like house sitters, and you have people that just stay in your house while you're away. Develop a good relationship with law enforcement and notify them of the property's vacancy to increase patrols and response to trespassing. And then educate yourselves on squatters' rights in Oklahoma, including any exceptions, and then seek correct legal advice from a qualified real estate attorney when necessary.
So on the trespassing sign, put the trespassing sign, stand next to the no trespassing sign, have your buddy take a picture of you with it so it'll be dated in your photo, because your squatter's going to pull that sign out and act like, well, it was never posted, right?
Right.
So if you're going to put the sign, take a picture with you, stand next to it, and then you can show it to the police officer.
Yes.
Man, that's good. On here, somebody out of Little Rock, Arkansas, Mr. Arthur Johnson said, what about your personal home that you live in?
Well, I mean, that's a lot different.
You kind of gave an example, but
that's a lot different. I mean, if you live in there, you
can't do that. This don't apply. If you live in the home, you breaking and entering now. You done did some totally different stuff.
I'm gonna tell you what do apply though. Say you got you let somebody stay with you for a while. You got a brother or somebody, sister or somebody. I just need a month.
Right.
And they decide they want to stay and they start getting mail there, and now you want to kick them out. Wow. It's real hard for us to kick them out as Tulsa police officers. You may have to evict them.
DA, you're not alone. You can't tell people your time has expired.
That's like you said. The guy's going to say, I just didn't show up. Come on, look at this bedroom. There's my bedspread. Those are my pictures up on the wall. This is all my property.
Gosh.
And then they look into like, dude, you need to evict them. That's what I'd be saying.
Right.
Yes. Damali, I can see it now. Somebody looking at their cousin on the couch. Now, I know you got out. I said I was going to help you, but it's about too much.
You've been
people
here
get a
too
little
long.
nervous. Right. I might want to start this process now because if I want you out within a month, then I got to start doing whatever I need to go file. I need to go do that now.
That's crazy.
But I think that goes along with accountability because we do want to help our neighbor. We want to help a person. We want to help a friend. We want to do those things, but knowing the law is important because the thing about being human is you can disagree. You agree today, you disagree tomorrow. So now you need to know what you got to do.
And let's bust one myth real quick. What you said earlier, just because you go to court and you get offered a deal doesn't mean your lawyer doesn't have to fight. You said something to that effect.
Yeah, no. At the end of the day, if we went to trial last week on a dude who was involved in this hellacious shootout, out at I think it's Circle Cinema.
That was terrible. I heard about it.
No, it's awful, right? And they're both bad actors on either side. I mean, they were shooting at each other. Well, anyway, I mean, we made a recommendation to that dude based on the facts and everything. It was like, well, if you want to plea out, we'll give you, I think we said 18 years or something. Well, he said, pound sand. Well, now jury gave him 45 years.
Oh, ouch.
Right. So sometimes you want to roll the dice with the DA, you might pay the price from the jury.
Yes. Wow. 45 years.
Yeah, because I know we'll have to switch gears, man. It's like when we having fun, time go fast.
I know,
what's
right?
Going on. Y'all came in, time started speeding up on us, but we do want to be able to encourage homeless. We hear it's resources. We went through a lot of that. Y'all make sure y'all share this video. But before we switch gears, we just want you to speak to like homeowners, because you're a person they call in and you somebody who have to deal with. So just give them some nuggets, encouraging words, or whatever you want to say before we switch gears.
I just want you to keep up with, watch your property. Have somebody, if you're not living in a neighborhood, make sure you have a neighbor you can trust that can call. Because if you call us, if somebody's breaking in your property, we can charge them with burglary if we catch them there in time, but if you don't ever have nobody watching and you stay away from your property and they stay there for long periods of time, it's gonna be a lot harder for us to deal with them.
Let me ask a question that I just thought about. So what happens say for instance, my grandmother passes away, right? And so, the family is trying to decide what we're going to do with the property. And nobody is going over it. So it's still the same scenario. Right. Somebody just goes in, decide they want to live. By the time you come and find out, then, it's like, I've been here like 2 months now, So it goes back to the same thing that you guys are saying, make sure that you're checking on the property.
Right. I along those lines, one, if your grandmother dies, now that it has to go through probate or something like that. So get an attorney who can start getting a personal representative for the handling of the estate. And what I've been doing is I'd be changing the locks out on that.
So you want to do that sooner rather than later.
ASAP, right? And then Lieutenant's right. You need to have somebody you can trust can drive by your house, and I'd say a couple days a week, because the people who are bad actors, they're watching these places, and if they think that somebody's not going to be there for a month or so, they're on it before you know it. So you got to have people frequently come by your house, go inside, turn the lights on, just to show that maybe somebody's going to show up unexpected.
Because they know they may not want to move in, they may want to steal your appliances. I don't know. I've had that happen before. They just go in there and steal your refrigerators and all that stuff
and hot water tanks. And
all
everything.
Copper, anything.
We had a friend the other day. Left their house for the weekend, came back, her hot water tank was gone.
Oh, God.
Damali, I think this has been just really, really good.
It really has.
Very, very informative. I learned myself. I'm sure y'all have learned as well. We're going to switch gears and have to get into our Hump Day Hot Topics. But, man, can y'all hang around for 15 more minutes? That's all. We got the little Hump Day Hot Topics. Not too bad. You got to go?
I got to run. I got interviews to do. So thank you so much for your time, though.
Yes.
Let's do this. We got a lot of people, local, national, international. Just tell them something to encourage them, man. We live in a world where people just like to be encouraged. Give them encouraging words before you go.
Hope exists. Hope exists.
I love that.
Place your faith in God.
And to the person that doesn't know you, who maybe not have had an encounter with you, but has heard something about you, and it might not be true, it might be true. What do you say to that person?
Who doesn't know me at all? Or
I mean, just to someone who has formed an opinion about you because of the position that you hold.
what I say to every one of my prosecutors, I said, don't judge people on what other people say. Judge people on your personal interaction with that person.
Oh, like
right?
It.
Just face to face, you can figure it out for yourself, right? You got 2 eyes, 2 ears, you got a mouth. Engage that person, get to know who they are. I just gave however many people listen to it. They can call me up, and I'll be glad to talk to them, and they can make an opinion about me based on the conversation they had with me.
Well, today you're not guilty, so we're going to let you ride today.
Just like that, y'all. We're going to take a quick break. This KBOB 89.9 FM, World One Development News. You can use Charles and Damali, the DA. He got to go, Mr. Steve Prince Wallow. We appreciate them coming in.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah.
EduRec is a youth and family fun center located at 5424 North Madison Avenue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At EduRec, we offer a host of activities for children and families of the Tulsa community at little to no cost. To find out about the many programs, activities, and services offered at EduRec, please visit our website, www.edurectulsa.com, or just give us a call at 918-430-3947.
Ladies and gentlemen, the all-new KBOB 89.9 FM, Black on Black Community Radio.
And now it's time for the Hump Day Hot Topics with Charles and Damali.
Hey, guess what day it is?
Hump Day!
Hump Day! It's Hump Day!
Hey, Mike.
It's the Hump Day Hot Topics on news you can use.
Mike. It's Hump Day.
Just like that. We're having too much fun right here on KBOB 89.9 FM. Damali, that was good stuff with homelessness.
Yes, that was amazing information. So you guys make sure that you check with your state to find out what your the laws are in your state as well as locally, because we were sharing Oklahoma laws, but and Tulsa, but we want to make sure that you guys are following the letter of the law in your area.
And just like that, and we're hopeful that you get out and create relationships. So to be able to have a Lieutenant DeLorean Sanders in here, 28 going on 29 years of experience in law enforcement, to have the DA come in, he's been there for 35 years to hang out with us. Those are the kind of things you want to create with a producer with JB that be jamming too. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
That's what you got to have to make your community better. We got to communicate more.
Yes.
It's great. It's great to have somebody like him and Sanders here because it doesn't happen with everybody.
It don't happen like that
Absolutely.
in most communities. So shout out to Tulsa, Oklahoma, right here on Black Wall Street, Greenwood. We're trying to make it happen. We're not perfect, but we're doing what we can do.
All right, so now we're going to jump into our Hump Day Hot Topics. Our number one hot topic is, and I am so proud of this young man, Ohio State Buckeyes safety Josh Proctor signs an undrafted free agent deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars, making him one of the handful of Buckeyes to sign a contract.
JB, say the name again.
Proctor!
Like he going to practice.
I know, right?
Get out here. Get your helmet and get out here. Man, I've been knowing the kid probably since maybe 9th grade.
Yeah.
Watching him play at he was beast mode, JB.
Yeah.
Beast mode. Tall, 6'1", 6'2", fast, and he'll lay you out. So when he went, certain athletes, you go, okay, he's going to the league. Barring injuries, barring that, but he has a story to tell.
Yeah.
It just feels good to see kids from here just
if they dream,
be able to go on and shine. And the ones that are out there in the league now are doing big things and bringing it back to town. So
the reason why we are making a huge deal about this is because this is one of North Tulsa's own.
Right.
His parents actually they actually have a daycare.
Right.
Mama Collins Daycare that is on the other side of the 36th Street North Event Center. So one side we actually lease out to them. So literally we have watched this kid, grow up, and we're so excited. His parents every weekend they are gone to football. To watch him play every single weekend. They don't miss a game. He got played with a few injuries.
Right.
It was kind of questionable as to whether or not he was actually going to get to the league.
Right.
But we're super excited that he actually did make it, one of North Tulsa's own. So we want to just, give him kudos, for sticking it out because it's tough when you come back from an injury.
Right. Hey, the Collins, that's an athletic family. They got
Ain't
a
it
lot
though?
You know about the Collins? That's what I keep hearing. I'm not from here.
You don't. Listen,
I played against one of their sons at Booker T.
For real?
Patrick was there when I was there.
Yeah.
He's bad. He run that ball.
Melba ran track.
Yeah.
Josh's mom ran track. She just got inducted into the Hall of Fame at Booker T.
I'm telling you right now, every time I hear Collins, they always say, man, athletes, man. The
they
whole
are
family.
athletics. And I don't even know how many kids are. Like, it's a lot of them, ain't it? Like
it's
9 or something. 7 or 9. Or I don't know. But anyway,
they say you go by Collins' house, the babies be turning backflips at one.
Yeah, it's not a game.
Athletic is in their juice.
Oh, with one hand.
With one hand, they got the juice.
Not a game. Not a game.
But
so
again,
congratulations.
Big congratulations.
Yes.
Are there any other kids headed to the NFL from Tulsa or Oklahoma?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
But
it's probably,
we're gonna find it. It probably is some out there.
It's a must. Because when you get into the OUs and OSUs, and
yes,
they always got some people getting drafted. They got people going every year, but we want to spotlight them because that's what Tulsa's on.
Definitely
like that.
Okay, and so we talked about this a little bit at the top of the show about our Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm so proud of this team. I mean, they did a phenomenal job, but I wanted to share this. So this is the article that I found, and it says Oklahoma City Thunder swiftly choked the life from the New Orleans Pelicans.
Whoa, that's pretty aggressive.
In a 97-89 Game 4 win and sweep.
Yes, a person from New Orleans would say, whoa now, whoa now,
whoa now,
whoa now.
Hold on now.
Like Oklahoma City, this is Oklahoma City's first playoff series win since the 2015-16 season.
That was a good season.
The Thunder became the youngest team in the NBA history to win a playoff series, and the Oklahoma City Thunder head coach, Mike, I don't even know how to say his last name.
Just say Mike. Coach Mike.
Coach Mike was named the 2023-24 NBA Coach of the Year.
Hold on real quick. Sanders, what is his name?
Mike.
Just like that. See, right here, we'll give you a name.
Right.
I'm going to need the Oklahoma City Thunder to win this second round because y'all got a lot riding on y'all shoulders right now.
Man, it's going down. Every round they get much more different. And I think they're going to be the winners between the Clippers and the Mavericks.
And you know what that means?
I mean, they could beat either one. Whichever one come to town, it's going to be a battle, Sanders.
It's going to be a battle. So check this out. Their coach is the recipient of the Red Auerbach trophy for leading the Thunder to a 57-25 record as Oklahoma City became the youngest team in the NBA in history to claim the number 1 seed in either conference. And the Thunder are also the youngest team in the NBA history to win 55-plus games.
Right. Going to the live, Mr. A.J. Johnson said weird that they used to be the Seattle Supersonics.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yes.
But then don't get now. So now then they go to New Orleans
and they were
the Hornets. Became the Hornets, and they was there.
Yep.
After Hurricane Katrina, they came over.
Yes.
And then there was the Hornets for a minute. Then they switched over to the Oklahoma City Thunder. So it's some history there. So Seattle, y'all in the house.
Yes.
New Orleans, y'all in the house.
Yes.
We beat the Pelicans, but we really family. Just it depends on how you're looking at it.
It was a big deal because Kevin Durant was with them when they were the Supersonics.
Yes.
Man, you know what it's like, man? It seemed like Oklahoma finally got the recipe right. It's like they KD, the Russells, the James Harden, and then they let them all go. You're like, man, what are y'all doing? We ain't gonna never win. But it sounds like they GM, JB Smooth.
So we put a whole nother team
We
together.
clean house and got the money back, and then got a whole bunch of draft picks.
You know what?
Some more draft picks that he ain't gonna be able to use. Want to use it to get a good player, and they think about KD may be coming back.
Damali, what you think about this? Damali,
No,
what you think about this? If he come, he gonna leave. Don't worry about it. He gonna leave. If he come, he gonna leave.
Yeah, I don't see KD coming back.
But what do you think about this? If the Clippers end up winning, Paul George played for the Thunder.
Yeah.
James Harden played for the Thunder, and Russell Westbrook played. I mean, 3 superstars.
Yeah.
How crazy would that be if the
the
Clippers
young
make
against
it?
the
They're
old.
coming back home. They take me back my crib where I used to stay.
Right,
You know,
right. That's the young against the
I don't
old.
see the Clippers winning, but I mean, who I personally want to see in like a finals, if it came down to me calling it out right now, it would be the Thunder versus Boston.
It could. You might be right. You might be right. We shall
let's see if
You might get
JB's
your
picks
wish.
are going to be right.
Yeah, let's keep it going.
All right. So, hey, I want to give a huge shout out and congratulations to Reggie Bush.
Yes.
He finally got his Heisman Trophy back after 14 years. Reggie Bush had his 2005 Heisman Trophy taken away from him, and so they gave it back to him just recently. They just recently announced this on Wednesday. The decision comes after Bush forfeited his Heisman Trophy in 2010 in the wake of significant NCAA sanctions for USC, which included Bush receiving improper benefits during a Trojans career that spanned from 2003 to 2005.
Well, number one, he said he never did it. Sanders, do you remember that? I remember that vividly, man.
I don't think they should have took it in the first place because they've always been giving athletes before this NIL stuff,
right?
They always been getting stuff. You know,
they're buying the parents' houses, cars,
right, and do whatever they can do.
Grab this man Heisman like that.
Yeah.
Then 2 decades later.
Yeah.
So at least they made it right.
They made it right.
Because now a lot of times they'd have waited 50 years to give it back. You're like, I'm too old to hold it up. At least he can hold on to it. He can enjoy it.
That's a pretty big.
Congratulations, Mr. Reggie Bush, man.
Yes.
He's old. Man, I'm tell you what I do remember. When he got to the league, remember when he got hit against New Orleans? Oh, he caught that ball. I'm going to show it to you. It knocked him from here to Max Wings. If you're talking, you know what Max Wings from. KBOB to Max Wings, it knocked him that far. But he got up. Barely.
Let's
go.
Woo, that's a big hit.
All right, so we're going to hit this Black History trivia question. What African American is the all-time leading scorer in women's collegiate basketball? Is it A, Lynette Woodard, B, Pearl Moore, C, Cheryl Miller, or D, Pamela McGee?
That's a loaded question. Y'all got a couple more seconds to put your answer on the live. We still got, over 1,000 people on. We appreciate
Pearl
the
Moore.
love.
Pearl Moore. I'm going for Pearl Moore.
Is that what you said?
What's the answer that we have?
I'm going with Pearl Moore.
I know I went with AJ and Maestro.
So AJ, Jeremiah, and Charles went A. JB and Sanders went B. And the answer is, if you said A, you would be correct.
Wrong.
She said wrong.
That's what I'm talking about.
So check this out.
Right.
Before Caitlin Clark, Lynette Woodard starred for the University of Kansas in the late 1970s and early 1980s, and she scored 3,649 points over her 4-year career. Woodard became a 2-time Olympian, winning the gold as captain of the Team USA at the 1984 Games. She also joined the Harlem Globetrotters as their first female member, and after playing overseas, she even came out of retirement to play for a brand new WNBA team. In other words, Woodard blazed the trail that modern women's basketball players are now following. JB, you redeem yourself because B, Miss Pearl Moore, played for Francis Marion College in the late 1970s and scored even more buckets than Woodard.
4,061.
Moore's record was 4,061 points and has stood for decades in women's college basketball. And because Francis Marion isn't a Division I school, its sports records have received much less attention, but Moore was recognized as a 4-time small college All-American, going on to play professionally for the New York Stars and the St. Louis Streak.
For the first time ever, there's a split decision here.
Split decision. That's what I said. You guys were not going to get this.
Well, what I love.
D1, huh?
Yeah. And that's what I love about KBOB. We get to tell our story our way because everybody else is running with Caitlin Clark, and I respect her because she's a sniper. I'm telling you that. But you got to know your history and stuff. And that's how we can miss stuff like this because these are African-American women that really got these 2 records. And that's just what the facts are.
And that was back in the day, too. That was 75, 79.
No 3-point line or nothing.
They was not playing no games. And if you got to watch, you got to be watching Sports Illustrated or the NBA channel or some ESPN specials to get these stories.
So the all-time scoring champion. What's the name again so they can remember on the live?
So these are the all-time leading scorers in women's collegiate basketball. It's Lynette Woodard and Pearl Moore.
Just like that. Okay, let's switch gears. That's good stuff right there, Damali. You got us on that one. Split decision.
I knew I was going to get y'all. Yeah, this is good.
Just like
All
that.
right, upcoming events. The 36th Street North Event Center has dates available. If you're looking for a place to hold your wedding, birthday party, banquet, repast dinner, community event, etc., give us a call at 918-200-9046 to reserve your spot. EduRec Youth and Family Fun Center is now taking registration for summer camp for June 3rd through the 28th, 2024. Go to edurectulsa.com/camps to register.
Registered now.
Yes. Tulsa Mayfest is going to be happening May 10th through 12th downtown. There will be many local artists from our community like T. Rush and the Tea Party, Steph Simon, TMC Records, Tony Mason, Majesty Pearson, Michael Fields Jr., and many more. Go to TulsaMayfest.org for more information.
That's a good lineup for a Mayfest.
It is.
A good
From
lineup
our
right
side.
Yes.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's a good lineup right there.
Absolutely.
Real quick, Eli Grayson said, let's do a gala fundraiser for KBOB 89.9 FM. I totally agree. Let's talk about that later.
And real quick, I just want to shout out Steph Simon, too, because he just dropped a new album called the Tulsa King.
Oh,
Yes.
And it is a masterpiece.
Mhm.
I got to give it up to Steph. I'm going to say it right here.
thing.
Yeah.
The Tulsa King album. If you guys haven't went listen to that yet, shout out to Steph. Everybody on that list is great, but Steph is definitely the Tulsa King.
Oh, awesome.
Just like that. Shout out to Big
All
Steph.
right. The Black Wall Street Rally 2024
Uh-oh.
is happening May 16 through 18 on Greenwood. There's going to be vendors, food, and plenty of motorcycles, which is my jam. The SOS Band will be the headliner in the old school concert, and there's going to be special guests Don Diego and comedian Grossman. Gates open up at 7:00 p.m. Tickets are $40. For more information, go to blackwallstreetrally.com.
And also,
like that.
Damali, if you're already a registered attendee for the rally, you get into the concert for free.
Oh, y'all heard that, so
Hey,
you better
remember that.
register.
So if you're a motorcycle rider and you register for the event, you're gonna get in the show for free.
I think I need to start riding my bike again.
I think you
Riding
know.
e-bike.
I rode a bike yesterday and it felt so good.
Man,
It
the
felt
wind and
so good.
Charles is a hater.
I just went like 3 blocks
Y'all get off
down
them bikes.
36.
Look, I'm gonna need y'all around a little bit longer. Stay off them bikes so I approve of the message.
And I'll say
You
right
gotta
now,
take it easy.
yeah, I'll just say right now, Tulsa motorists, please watch out for
That's
motorcycles.
the problem.
They get to you so
That's the
quick, you
problem.
don't even know how fast that they are actually going. So make sure that you're watching out for two wheels.
That's how you ride. They don't know how fast you come. They see JB, oh, he doing the speed limit.
Don't do that.
This is all you hear. Say,
You know, Officer
Damali.
Sanders is sitting right here.
I know he sat back. He didn't hear it. He turned
Don't
his
do
hearing
that.
off. So Sanders, if you hear, I didn't see that. Oh, that was Damali.
Look, one day he turned his lights on me. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, and it was like, you're Sanders. I'm like, whoa, I thought I was caught. All right, the Expungement Expo is happening, so save the date. It's happening June 1st, 2024 at the 36th Street North Event Center located at 1125 East 36th Street North. Stay tuned for more information. The registration portal is going to be opening up. It was supposed to be opening up today, but I didn't get it done, so it's going to be tomorrow. But anyway, shame, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell y'all. But visit Tulsa Expungement Expo on Facebook or the 36th Street North Event Center or World One Development Facebook page for more information.
Mr. Eli Grayson said he needs to get the social security number for JB Smooth and Damali. Hey, give me 25%. Give me 25%, Eli. I'll collect that. I'm here with him. I'll get them. I'll send them to you. Put me down for 25%.
Motorcycles are not that bad.
And give Sanders 10%. Give me 25%.
You have to respect the motorcycle when you ride it.
Yeah. I agree.
All right, Legacy Fest is going to be happening on June 1st on Greenwood with feature artist Anthony Hamilton.
Yeah.
For more information, go to blackwallstreetlegacyfest.com.
Charles, that's your boy. Sister Big Bone is coming through.
Sister Big Bone, can their brother walk you home? I can't sing, but anyway, I can't. Yeah, I've been talking about Anthony Hamilton. Yeah. I'm excited about that. So shout out to Dr. Tiffany Crusher that always does. She said this is a love letter.
Yeah.
To the community because it's gonna fall on June 1st.
Yeah.
Which was kind of the kickoff for the massacre. So that's a big day. That's a big day. So
that's a heck of a love letter she writes.
That's a love letter.
All right.
Hamilton.
Juneteenth is going to be happening June 13th through 15th on Greenwood. There's going to be a 5K and a 1 mile sunrise run and walk. Y'all going? Sunrise walk? No. Yes, no.
I'll block the streets off.
I'm gonna be with Sanders.
I'm doing security.
I'm gonna help Sanders block the street off.
All right, national recording artist Kiki Wyatt, Tamar Braxton, and H-Town will be performing.
What?
Hey, look, all I heard, Charles said H-Town was coming out. They said was,
hey.
Them 80s and 90s babies already know. All the women hand
they
they
said
go up
H-Town
when
was
they hear
coming.
it.
That's all you heard. Juneteenth's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be cracking.
Mr.
Gonna be cracking.
Mr. Energizer all the way from Jacksonville, Arkansas said, "I'm with you, Rock. Stay off them motorcycles, JB Smooth and Queen Miss Damali." That's what he said.
Right. All right. So for more information about Juneteenth, go to tulsajuneteenth.org.
And then I gotta give it to you, Damali. The other one, when we played this other song, they was like, "Oh, she coming to Juneteenth," because a lot of people didn't know who Tamar was, so we had to play a little bit of her song too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Yes.
Hey,
this is Tony Braxton's little sister.
Yes.
Tamar, one of the Braxton sisters. She's headlining Juneteenth.
It's going down, y'all.
I'm telling y'all, we're gonna have
And
a blast.
she can sing her butt off.
Yes.
And she's beautiful too. So
Kiki Wyatt ain't bad either.
Kiki is the bomb.
She is the bomb.
Tamar is the
Kiki.
Tamar.
You gotta remember, we just had Lauren Corbett Evans here just last week.
Yeah.
And she said the response has been crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Over Tulsa Juneteenth. So get your tickets.
Tamar,
see what you got to do.
Kiki, H-Town, ain't no telling who else going to be added to the show. So
Right.
it's going to be an awesome summer for downtown Tulsa.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's going to be cracking. So, I mean, it's back-to-back. Mayfest, Black Wall Street Rally. You know, we got the Expungement Expo, Legacy Fest. I mean, it's just...
Look, every time we name something, Sanders drink some more water. Because you know he's going to be out there.
He's going to be working.
He's like, man, I can secure all these thousands
I'm going to bring you some popsicles. I'm going to go to Frios and get you some popsicles.
Every time you name something, he wipe his forehead and drink some water. Like, they all excited. I got this many overtime. It depends on how you look at it.
OT.
Hey.
Yeah. Maybe. All right.
I might take off and just check out the show.
Right.
Hey, come on now.
I always take off one of the days. I don't do every day.
I just enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I take one of the days off.
Just gotta hang out. Yeah.
Take off when they do the Divine Nine stroll. We can get out there and
Sanders be strolling now. Don't get it.
Sanders, he get on the back.
Yeah, he's not playing. He's not playing.
He said, just in case I get wild, I'm going to get back here by myself.
All right.
I mess up a step.
All right, Uganda Missions 2024 is taking place in July. We're accepting donations at world1development.com/Uganda-missions. Remember that in order to scholarship a child, it's $250. That gives them books, that gives them a uniform, a broom, and there's something else.
The teacher, food,
uniform. Food. That's to go. Breakfast and lunch. So, make sure that you guys, last year we were able to scholarship 70 kids.
Right.
This year we're going back. We're taking some acclaimed students with us.
Right.
Some of the students from Juice Radio Show are going to be going with us. So we're going to have a blast. So this is going to be an educational experience.
Right.
Not only for the students over in Uganda, but we're taking America's students over to Uganda. So, you guys make a donation. So once again, that is world1development.com/Uganda-missions. Remember, no amount is too large or small. So please consider making a donation.
And what I love about this, KBOB rolling and the juice.
Yes.
We doing it together. Quick shout out to Daryl Ross, my frat down there in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Hey, Daryl, how you doing? All right. So guess what? Today is May 1st.
It is.
And our good friend Aubrey Shine has a birthday today.
My sister, I miss her.
And guess what? My Aunt Dorothy has a birthday. My cousin Jube's mama got a birthday.
Today.
Happy
birthday to the family. Happy birthday to the family.
Happy birthday.
All right. So May 3rd, we have Dion Osborne from over at the Black Wall Street Times, and Sandia Bell and Franchelle Abdallah, who's going with us to Uganda.
Just like that. Happy birthday, y'all.
All right. And then May 6th, Letitia Brunson, who is a councilwoman over in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and one of our friends. It's going to be her birthday.
Boy, she a giant over there, too.
Yeah, she's making some moves over there. Money moves over there. All right, so don't forget, you can hit us up on any of our social media platforms. That's on Facebook or Instagram. You can hit us up at World One Development, Edgerec Youth and Family Fund Center, 36th Street North Event Center, or Fitting Back In Prison Reentry Program.
Man, this has been a loaded show for the Police Report with Lieutenant DeLorne Sanders with special guest, the DA Steve Kunzweiler. Leave your people, Lieutenant Sanders, with 3 things. Until next time.
Since we're talking about property,
right?
If you go have vacant property, make sure you keep somebody to check on it every once in a while. Also, if you're not gonna have nobody in to go ahead and board the windows up, board the doors up, so somebody can't, go inside. And this is very important. If you're gonna let somebody live with you, make sure you trust them and they're a person of their word, and not try to stay longer than you want them, because you will have to get them evicted.
Just like that. That's
don't do it, y'all. Don't do it.
Final thoughts, JB Smooth?
My final thoughts are there's a lot of homeless people out here in the world. There's a lot of people struggling. There's a lot of people suffering. Every homeless person that you see isn't a bad person.
Right.
Now, some of them do take advantage of these situations that they just so happen to be in. And that's not a good thing. But let's pray for all the homeless people out there today and just say big ups to everybody out there fighting in the struggle, because it is real. This is the world we live in now. This is not the new normal we hope for, but homelessness is definitely an issue that needs to be tackled rather quickly.
Just like that. With the spotlight on Damali and her purple.
Yes.
Let's do this. Color. With you having 25 years legal, so you understand the court side, right? And being a community advocate for all, you got that. Encourage the people. Tell them something.
So you guys just make sure that we are loving each other. Like JB just said, all homeless people are not bad, but still keep your head on the swivel, because you got to make sure that you're protecting yourself and watching out, for your we heard a stat that said that most of the homeless crimes that were happening, what did we say, 40%?
40%.
40% of the crimes that were happening from people who were homeless.
Right.
So that means just pay attention, to your surroundings and making sure that you're, looking out for that. And then the other thing I want to do is do a shameless plug and say, hey, you guys make sure that you're checking out nycu.fm, where we play today's R&B and throwbacks 24/7.
Right.
So make sure that you listen to all of the radio personalities that we have on there. We got one new personality that's going to be starting on Mother's Day. So that's going to be exciting. So, you guys tune in, nycu.fm. It's our music.
Just like that. And remember, KBOB, NYCU.FM, when you see us, it's all one big family affair. It's a reunion. Ain't nothing changed. We've been rocking and rolling for about 6-7 years, and we're going to roll for another 15 to 20.
Dang.
If the Lord say the same. But I tell you what, I just want to say special love to everybody that has been listening in, local, national, and international. We had about 3.5 thousand on today. Good job to everybody. We got to get out of here. Nothing but love to Lieutenant DeLorean Sanders. Been rocking with us for the whole 4 years beyond. Our engineer, producer, DJ JB Smooth on the ones and twos.
Extraordinaire.
Did his thing extraordinaire. But we got to go. But if you want to continue to hear us every week, please consider donating to Eden Media Services to help our community radio continue to stay on the air. You can send your cash donation or cash out made payable to Eden Media Services to 1216 North Lansing Avenue. Suite D, we moved them up, y'all. You got to come by and see us. Tulsa, Oklahoma, 74106. This has been news you can use with your boy, Charles Harper. That's me.
And Damali Wilson, that's me.
And we are live every Wednesday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. So make sure you tune in.
Oh, and I'm JB. Hi. How y'all doing? You never see me, but you hear me. You love me because that's no reason to fear me. All right, here we go. If you'd like to advertise your business, promote your events on this show, inbox us on Facebook at World One Development. This has been World One Development's News You Can Use with your hosts, Mr. Charles Harper and Mr. Molly Wilson. Special guest, the police report with the Lord Sanders.
Blue fight.
You know. Now we out of here. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on this program belong solely to the host and their guests and not necessarily to this station, organization, committee, or other groups or other individuals associated with KBOB 89.9 and Eden Media Services. Y'all have a great day. Any last words?
We out.
Hey,
love y'all.
Peace and hair grease.
See y'all next week.
Yep.
If you'd like to watch this show, make sure you check us out on YouTube. News You Can Use. Just search News You Can Use on YouTube and go back and watch the entire show in its entirety. Okay? Go YouTube right now. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace.